Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to jump on and talk about Daryl Dixon. I just watched what was an amazing season finale. I really think the last episode and this episode were maybe some of the best Daryl, maybe some of the best spin-offs. I just think that the action and the way things were filmed was just so good. Like when Daryl and the lepers were picking off the train people, I guess we can call them, and the little girl was marking it down in the sand. I thought that was really neat, and I didn't know that if the finale would top that stuff, but it did. I mean, the action is just so good, so brutal. Like in the finale. Okay, spoiler: if you haven't watched the finale, come back and watch this video later. But yeah, when Daryl is shooting the guards that are protecting Fede, or Fede. Is it Fede or Fede? I'm gonna call him Fede. I think it's probably Fede. But seeing their heads kind of like explode, not really explode, but like the wound appear, and then you know that there's like a big blowout in the back. But that's stuff that we didn't really see until Daryl Dixon, and I like that grittiness, that level of violence. I think that in this world you would definitely see that, and I think that I really like that you're showing that in Daryl Dixon. But anyway, like I said, I think this was an amazing episode. This whole season's it's just been amazing. Kind of give you some of my thoughts on it. But before we do, if you enjoy my videos and you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you like this video, give it a hype if you're watching on mobile. Okay, so let's talk about this episode. I made my predictions episode and I was wrong on everything. Well, pretty much. I did say that they would kill what was going to be the person that was going to be the king of Spain. Daryl took out everybody, really, when you think about it, involved in Alcazar. So they took out the current king. They took out the future king. Well, Daryl didn't take out the future king. The cowgirl did. I can't remember her name. I guess I should have looked it up for the video, but you know what I'm talking about. Was it Paz? I think her name might be Paz. But anyway, the cowgirl, the one who was helping Daryl get to, she helped him in Barcelona. She was from, I butchered these names, but the town that Fede is over. And but she took out the prince, and she got to be with her love interest, Elena, I believe is her name. Daryl rescues Justina, and they get back, only to find out that Fede has captured Carol. Well, they took Roberto, they shot the lighthouse lady, and comes into this showdown where I really think Carol and Antonio and Roberto were in really bad shape there. You know, I think if Justina hadn't shown up, then I think we could have lost them. But Daryl was already doing the best he could. He had asked her to stay behind to take care of the lighthouse lady, and you know she wasn't going to. I mean, she had to go. She was really the only character that could turn the tide for the whole village on their side. I mean, I know the villagers were already questioning things, but to see her show up and tell the truth, and even the grandmother, I think Fede's mother was not sure, although we did see that she does learn the truth and she ultimately does let him go. Yeah, I think Carol and Antonio and Roberto were in pretty bad trouble. I'm glad they got out. I'm glad they made it out of that. And I'm glad that the town was able to see Fede for what he was. But going back to the scene with Daryl, the scene where he rescues Justina, it was just so brutal. And I loved it. The action has been so good in this series, really since the beginning. When you think about it, it's always been brutal. Last season we got the showdown with Madame Janae, her men, when Daryl's shooting him in the head, and yeah, I just think that has been so much better in this spinoff. I guess Dead City is brutal in its own way, but this is just grittier, and it's even like, I think you even notice it like in the way that it's filmed with the filters. Anyway, I'm kind of getting off on a tangent, but let's talk back about this episode. at the beginning, we see Caudron. I think I'm saying his name right. That's the Frenchman that was going to kill Daryl and then decided not to kill Daryl, and then they became friends. And then when they got in the tunnel of bat poop, he kind of lost his mind a little bit and attacked Daryl and then ran off. We see him in this at the beginning of this episode. I was really surprised. I haven't been watching any of the trailers. I've just been going into the, so I don't know if they showed him in the trailer. I've just been going into each episode kind of blind, just knowing what we knew the previous episode. I think I've enjoyed it a little bit more that way. But we do see him, and I thought he would come into play this episode, especially near the end whenever Fede shows up at the beach and he has the gun pulled on Daryl. I expected Caudron to save Daryl there because, you know, by now his bat poop fog, it should have lifted, and he would have realized what he did, and I would think that he would have helped Daryl. But no, we just see, I guess he couldn't find him, or he's just, maybe he's not even looking. But we do see that when the boat explodes, that he sees it. So we can only assume that he and Daryl will meet back up in season 4. The final season. Yeah, we're going into the next season will be the final season of Daryl Dixon. Hopefully that means he makes it home, and he and Rick are able to finally have that reunion. I know that's what I want to see. Let me know in the is there anyone in the if there's anyone who doesn't want to see that, let me know in the comments, and let me know what you would like to see, how you'd like to see it played out. But Daryl does say before Fede attacks, when he's talking to Carol, before they go to bed that night, that he's always running and fighting, and he hears that voice, and he's talking about from when he was a child. And I gathered from that Merle was telling him to run, and you see young Merle turn around. I wonder has it ever been said, did Merle kill their father or their stepfather or whoever it was that was, I would say that it was probably their father. But I kind of got the feeling that Merle went back to face him, and that didn't go well for the drunk. But that's just something I picked up on. Let me know if you picked up on that in the comments. Then in the end, I thought it was really, really fitting that they played a Spanish version of Johnny Cash's "Hurt Myself." I thought that really fit, especially as we see Daryl looking at the boat, Carol standing behind him. Daryl has tears in his eyes. You know, he's still thinking about the flashbacks that he was kind of going through the rest of the whole season, but he's thinking about that, and the boat's burning, and they've lost their way home, at least seemingly for now, and they played Johnny Cash "Hurt Myself," Spanish version, that is. Let me know if you picked up on that in the comments. Yeah, overall, it was a great season. I think probably the best of Daryl Dixon. Maybe even some of the episodes the best in The Walking Dead, like as a whole. Definitely the spinoffs. So yeah, that's just kind of my thoughts, what I got from this episode. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do all the YouTube stuff, and I will see you in the next one.